Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna, thank you so much for joining us here at Epoch Times Espanol.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you here. So we're here in Tampa, Florida for the Turning Point USA Summit, but I do want to touch base in the ICE raids that are happening in the marijuana facilities in California. So what's your take on this?
You know, it's interesting. They're talking about there being women and children. Why the heck is no one talking about the fact that women and children are at a massive marijuana farming operation in California? It's not the first time that we've heard about these big corporations hiring illegals and or bringing in people against their will, i.e. slave labor. Tyson Chicken Farm, Purdue Chicken Farm actually was busted for having migrant children being forced to work 12-hour shifts, one of which was actually hurt in Virginia, I think as young as 14 years old. And so this is completely wrong and should not be a partisan issue. Frankly, I think that this administration has done a lot to combat trafficking specifically on these topics, but they're trying to force a narrative because they know that the largest voting minority in the country are Hispanic Americans, specifically of Mexican descent.
Are you going to do something on the oversight committee in terms of this topic that's happening?
I would like to, but I'm not the chairman. That's up to the chairman's purview of the oversight committee.
So what would you say to the Hispanic community that see these raids and are maybe confused?
I would say that they need to look into an individual by the name of Neville Singham, who's a billionaire funding a lot of these anti-immigration protests. Notice how they didn't do it under Barack Obama, who's known as the deporter-in-chief. They didn't do it under Biden, who is actually still, I would say, arguably doing the same thing. What they are basically advocating for is these protests, and they're trying to target Hispanic Americans, again, because of the largest voting minority, but it actually comes from the Communist Chinese Party, a lot of the funding for this. So they're using Hispanic Americans the way that they use Black Americans to usher in communism.
And I know that
that's via the Democrat Party platform. That's why they want you to vote Democrat.
Right, and I know that you are, well, from the Oversight Committee, that you are urging for Singham to testify.
Yeah, and he's hiding from our inquiry. So we might have to freeze assets. That's going to be up to the Treasury to do.
To explain to the Hispanic audience, how deep does this CCP linked to the riots are? What can you tell us about
It's 100% linked, all the funding trails going to it. And if they really cared about illegal immigration, they would do something about these corporations hiring these children, and they're not. And so what I'll tell you is there's a reason why all of a sudden you're seeing a shift from BLM to the Hispanic Americans. There's a reason why they're passing out Mexican flags. It's because Mexican Americans are the largest voting minority in the country. So don't believe the propaganda. President Trump has done a lot for this community, and you're seeing that, not just as business owners are concerned, but notice how they also try to brand as illegals as just being Mexicans. It's not. It's people coming from China. It's people coming from Africa. It's people coming from the Middle East, and they're not showing you those stats. They're not showing you the amount of predators that they're actually deporting. They're only showing you specific graphic images for a reason.
Do you think the Hispanic community is really aware of what's happening?
No, I don't think that they're as aware as they need to be, which is why we need your outlet.
Why would you think the Hispanic community is thinking about it right now?
Well, they're being targeted with propaganda.
How do they fight this?
It's via other outlets, a lot of the mainstream media, CNN, MSNBC, social media, they're pushing it on the left. Oh, I love Epoch Times. I've been with you guys for a minute, so keep subscribing. Epoch Times has been amazing, so keep doing what you guys are doing. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Congresswoman Luna.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.